It is time for another edition of Litter Media Live. It's June 13th, 2024. We are closing in on the middle of the month. Summer's almost over and it hasn't even started.
Technically correct, yes.
Yes, because summer comes next week. Can't remember what day. Is it 20th, 21st?
It varies from year to year depending on
what the moon's doing and the sun and all that kind of stuff.
Actually, it has to do with the sun.
So, yeah.
The moon's, they got nothing to do with this one. So,
but it is involved because at nighttime there's no sun.
Well,
there is the moon.
It's still there, yeah.
The moon's light is reflecting
the sun's on
off
the other
sun.
side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dan needs a refresher course in his.
So the sun is always with us.
That's right.
Even at nighttime.
Because
in
we
more ways
rotate
than
around
one,
it.
the sun is always with us.
The sun is not rotating around us. We are rotating around it. So.
There you go, Mr. Science, for another day.
We never rehearse how we start this program, and don't know that we ever will. Maybe we should, but like I say, we probably won't ever do it. All right, good to see you here. Thank you for joining us. I think Mike's done texting with whoever he's texting. And
that's sharing with our listeners because our producer hasn't learned to do that yet.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Our producer just makes sure that we look good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
it's a hard job
for Dan.
A lot to work with. Let's take a look at what's making news today in the form of weather.
Yes, another nice day, a little warmer as we go. Sunshine and 87 for today, 60 the low tonight. Partly sunny. There is a slight chance of a shower tomorrow with a high of 84. Then sunny and 83 for Saturday. Looks great that evening for the Kenworth Parade. I think they're talking about temperatures around 70 that evening, around 9 o'clock, or 8:45 actually, I think, when we step off the parade. But then they crank up the thermometer on Sunday, highs of 90. Next week, Monday through Friday, I think they're talking about low to mid-90s each day.
We can handle that. That's part of being an Ohioan.
Y'all better put sunscreen on the top of your heads.
Well, at nighttime, at the Kenworth Parade, I won't need it. So,
I mean,
because remember, the sun is not out.
Yes.
We just learned that, Aaron. What were you paying attention? Yeah. I don't think the moon is ever going to be that bright that it's going to cause a sunburn. So.
That would be
that would be bright.
That would be bright.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're not too bright here, but we'll do our best as we can to get through the day. We have news to share with you, a look at sports, and this date in history.
I'm going to just wait and let you find out what year it's going to be. I'm going to make you wait today.
But coming up next, a special assignment I had yesterday up in Lockbourne, Ohio. We'll explain in just a moment. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. If you have need for a duster, I did it again, didn't I? If you have a need for a dumpster for your home or your business, give a call to Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week. And coming up at the end of sports today, we will announce who this week's Player of the Week is. News, of course, coming your way next. You can follow along on our website, littermedia.com. Follow us here on Facebook, as well as Litter Media X for other ways to find out what we share with you on a regular basis, plus our YouTube channel, which is always available for free. Right now, let's tell you what I was up to yesterday. Yesterday in Lockbourne, Ohio, they had an open house. It's Columbus Air Show weekend, of course, but the village of Lockbourne, with this special open house yesterday, Mayor Christy Ward will tell us more.
The village is wanting to install a black granite wall with about 10 to 12 panels that will commemorate the history of the base and tell the story of everything that happened out there. One of the panels will be dedicated to the Tuskegee Airmen. It was their last home there, and they were there for 3 years. One will be dedicated to the women air service pilots who were trained out there in the B-17 bombers. And of course, one will be dedicated to Eddie Rickenbacker because of his ties now to Rickenbacker Air Force Base. There's so much history, and it's something that not only Lockbourne and the Hamilton Township, but Central Ohio should be proud of all the things that happen out there.
I've played a really big part with just the information on the wall, reading over it, proofreading it. We really want our generation to be into the wall and really want to come see it. So I've really just put all my time and energy into this wall and trying to make it as perfect as possible. This has really been revolutionary to me. It's so cool to see all the history that is surrounding me on a daily basis, and I had no idea about it.
That is a junior at Hamilton Township High School, Callie Farrell, and she's involved with the wall, but of course they have plenty of pictures. I forgot that the Tuskegee Airmen had their last call at Lockbourne at the time. Later would become Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base, and now Rickenbacker Airport, as it is called. But it's been vital, very important to the area, and it's amazing how much has changed just in that little tiny village right there from when I lived there 30 years ago.
Now, Dad was working there, I think, from 1980, it was mid-'80s, or possibly the early 80s, until 89 when he retired. He had been at Clinton County Air Force Base at Wilmington. They closed that down, moved his outfit to Rickenbacker, and then they changed what they were doing while he was still working. And they changed the purpose. Because at one time, they were the refueling for the Strategic Air Command.
Right. And now they have the 121st Fighter Wing there. They had the Apache helicopters there for a long time. So it's been unique. Grab that book here, if you would. This book is called Crossroads of Liberty, and this was available for purchase. And the amount of photos in this is absolutely incredible. It goes through the entire history of Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base, or Rickenbacker Air Base. I never realized the elevation is 744 feet, according to the tower there. But it was unique to see members of the military were there. I talked with the master sergeant for the air base. The post commander was supposed to arrive, but the Thunderbirds had just landed for the air show, so he was still tied up talking with the Thunderbirds. But it was cool. The guys that I talked with, they had been at Al Udeid Air Base over in Qatar, where Dan Jr. was as well. So it was neat to talk with them about just comparing bases and all that kind of stuff, and how things have changed from when they were there. There were tents the guys were staying in, and now they say there's buildings there, actual structures you can sleep in, and said that as far as the country and out in Doha, it's like a resort city now.
Right.
Forget about the war. Just come over, and he said, I would be very happy with taking my family there on vacation. So
it just came to me, Dad was there in the mid-'70s through 89, because the year of the 77 blizzard, he had started out for that morning to get to the base and turn around, and I thought it had to be bad if Dad didn't go on through.
Because he was like the mailman, right?
Yeah, he got there on time.
And they switched over from Lockbourne to Rickenbacker in 1974, which was a year after the great
Eddie Rickenbacker.
ace Eddie Rickenbacker. Yeah. And not only a pilot, but also he was in the Indianapolis 500 as well. Yeah. That was part of what we were involved with yesterday, and something happening this weekend. In fact, tonight it is Tecumseh. And we had the opportunity to catch up with Brandon Smith. He is the producer and, of course, the director for the Scioto Valley, or I should say the Scioto Society. The 52nd season of the outdoor drama Tecumseh opens up. They've got a special preview tonight with a glorified dress rehearsal. And Brandon says there's some noticeable changes this year.
Yeah, so as far as the show goes, you know, there are changes every year, and usually when we have this conversation, I say, unless you've seen it over and over again, you probably won't notice them. Well, that's not the case this year. So we went back through a lot of old scripts, way back to 1971, before the show was ever produced, and found a very early draft. And we kind of pulled some really good nuggets out of those old scripts, mostly old narration that had been cut through the years. So we brought some of that narration back. So Graham Greene is still narrating the beginning and the end of the show. But in between all of that, we've taken the character of Tecumseh and kind of made her a narrator in a sense. So there are, I think, 7 spots throughout the middle of the show where she gives a little bit of information, which kind of ties those scenes together in a way which you just can't have otherwise. Right. So that's very new and very different. And even as I watched the show last night, when those narrations come on, I went, wait, is this right? I don't.
And these are recorded narrations.
Some of them are recorded and some of them she delivers live.
Oh,
yeah. Right? So it's a little of both. So the live narrations would be a situation where she is in that scene that's coming up. So she'll kind of walk out and give the narration and then kind of blend in to the scene, and then the rest of them are recorded. So it's a big change in the show. We've also moved some of the music around in the show. We've added some music, still the same music that everybody knows, right, and identifies, but some of it might be in different places, or we're using different clips, things like that. And then I think the other big change is that Tenskwatawa, Tecumseh's brother, had a religious experience in real life, had a religious experience in his life, and took the name Tenskwatawa. So he's always been referred to that through the show, but we've changed that a little bit. So at the beginning of the show, when he's a young man, before he's had this revelation, we refer to him in the show as his given name, which was Lolowasika. So up until the point in the show where he has this vision, he'll be known as that. And we really struggled with that a little bit because we thought, is that going to be confusing for people? I think we found a way to make it work so that everybody understands what's happening. But that was just kind of a nod to us wanting to honor not only Tecumseh through the show, but also the rest of his family, his descendants, the absentee Shawnee tribe. And I think it makes a couple of really lovely moments that we just haven't had in the past.
Yeah. Not sure how well this will show up on camera, but this is the program for this year. Some of this is yellow around here. That's why it may not be showing up as well on our camera. But this is the program. By the way, Jared Depew does a great job. This is the 9th year he has been doing this sort of thing. There's a new Tecumseh this year. He was the understudy last year, Alec Pacheco. And back as Simon Kenton is Caleb Johnson right there. Guy looks like General Custer. And also Rebecca Galloway is new, as well as Tecumseh. And just as I say that, this falls to pieces. There we go. And here are those lovely ladies as well. So new faces in many areas, new ways of doing some things, but the story remains the same.
Opening night Friday or Saturday?
Opening night is tomorrow night, but they will again be running through the show tonight. And Brandon didn't say that nobody could show up, but it is showing as a date on their website, and that's where you can get tickets, tecumsehdrama.com for your tickets. And I've got some special things they're doing there, too. If you want to find out more about what we talked about, it's available on our YouTube channel. And I had a text from Brandon late last night. He said, thanks for challenging me. He says, usually in these interviews, I'm able to merely just kind of say the same stuff over and over, but we had the opportunity to talk about things that we normally wouldn't talk about. So if you've wondered about the inside track and behind the scenes stuff, we shared all of that yesterday in this conversation with Brandon Smith.
Couple of school notes to pass along in these two next stories. One of them, some good news for the Buckeye Hills Career Center, which is covering Gallia, Jackson, Vinton Joint Vocational School District. It's located in Gallia County. They've received $10.5 million for a 17,000 plus square foot expansion to the existing building. It'll create a health services center for medical, dental, and behavioral health, expand workforce development, including dedicated workforce search space, and add new classroom, dental lab, and computer lab space. So congratulations to them. They're getting in on a lot of this Appalachian money that's coming along. Also, Greenfield Village Schools are making an announcement similar to one that you heard us talking here about a few weeks ago for Washington City Schools. Regardless of income level, every Greenfield student will receive free breakfast and lunch every day for the 24-25 school year.
Yum, yum. Mm-hmm. Now, the Pickaway County Park District has released a map of various access points for canoes and kayaks in area rivers and streams. This is very key and very instrumental. I know when Mr. Davis was in here, Tom, 2 years ago, I think it was, he talked about they managed to gain certain access to like Big Darby Creek and all. So now you can find these available on this special map from the Pickaway County Park District. Now, is this available on their website or on their social media?
You can find it on their social media, ours. We also shared it as well on Facebook.
Have you ever had to put a canoe or a kayak into a stream?
No. But the neat thing about this map, it not only shows the different locations, but it'll also show you how far that trek is for you. So some helpful info there. We're staying in the water, only in a pool instead of the river or creeks. Fayette County Public Health will sponsor the second annual Splash Bash at the Jefferson Pool on June 24th. Admission's free to all. It's hosted by the Fayette County Public Health. Staff will be on hand from noon until 4:30 p.m. Should it rain, they'll have a makeup date of June 27th, and this is open to the whole family. Pool closes, by the way, at 7 p.m. All right. Some other information that came to us concerning unclaimed funds. You've heard us talk about this over the years because who knows, you just might be a millionaire. No, I don't think there's quite that much out there for you. But in central Ohio, Franklin County, that's probably a given, is the number one county as far as unclaimed funds. About $4 billion is currently in possession by the Ohio Department of Commerce's Division of Unclaimed Funds. Now, Fairfield and Pickaway counties also made the top 10 list for Central Ohio. Fairfield County has $16.8 million in unclaimed funds that somebody needs to check the list for. And in Pickaway County, it's at $6.7 million. You can find the link on our website, story@littermedia.com, and who knows, your name might be on there.
Kenworth Truck Parade, the third annual event, is coming up this Saturday. Again, the parade itself will start about 8:45. The streets will be closed down around 4 o'clock, and I've seen people get in place about that time and just kind of camp out, but there's plenty of things that will be happening downtown for you to enjoy in that regard. Don't forget, tomorrow is Flag Day, and our friend Andy Tomlinson with Tomlinson Insurance Agency at his Washington Courthouse location and also here in Chillicothe will have a special cookout, burgers, brats, hot dogs, and if you bring a tattered flag, American flag, he will exchange a brand new flag for that flag, and he'll properly have it retired as well. So if you'd like to find out more, go back and listen to the interview that Andy and I had on our YouTube channel at Litter Media. Just click Litter Media in the search window. It takes you right there. It's also available in our video section here on Facebook.
Our road report today takes us to neighboring Fayette County. I-71 in both directions between the Heidi Road and Clinton County line will have various daily restrictions for resurfacing, 7 to 5 each day, and that project goes through this fall.
I always have trouble finding that Heidi Road.
Heidi Road.
I mean, they hide it, and you just don't know where to find
Well, it
it.
was just here yesterday.
Exactly. Where did I put that thing? Coming up, a look at sports and this date in history. But first, Haynes Total Health Care Center. They've been taking care of our chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs since 1974, and that is 50 years. So Haynes is the place to check out. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, which is hayneshealth.com.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Time for sports, and Paints win.
They're on a roll.
They are.
Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they've been hotter than, as the late Grant McDonald used to say, a $2 pistol. 4-2 winners last night over the Mill Rats in Prospect League action. And I think they have Champion City tonight at home.
My schedule is sitting over at my desk.
When I looked that up yesterday, I think they have Champion City 2 days in a row. It's today and tomorrow, but I can't remember if both of them are at home. But you can check the Paint schedule and find out. American Legion baseball season is underway, and we learned this year, and I don't remember this ever being the case, but Chillicothe Post 757 has two senior teams. They're considered senior teams. According to Tom Barr, who runs the baseball program there, the blue team is actually the older of the two. However, they and the white team will play in the regionals for a bid to the state tournament, and that'll be later in the summer. Now, last night, the Blue lost to Napoleon 10-7, while the 757 white team was an 11-9 winner over Portsmouth Post 23.
Is Tom coaching both of these teams?
No.
Because he's showing his Chillicothe colors there in blue and white.
He might have a blue team, yeah.
Well, he'll stick with the older guys.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's
just a guess.
Yes. The Reds, they split their series in the Ohio Cup. They have won a game, lost a game. And last night was a 4-2 victory for the Reds. There you see Candelario after hitting a 3-run home run, or was it a 2-run home run?
He had a 3-run homer and a 1-run homer.
So he provided all the runs, batted in yesterday. And if I'm not mistaken, he was 3 for 4 on the night.
Yes, that's correct.
And did everything they needed to do. So Reds are off today?
That's
and they travel
correct.
to Milwaukee?
Going to Milwaukee,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As far as the NBA Game 3 last night, this was crazy. Boston had built a 21-point lead, 91-70, early in the fourth quarter. Then they got outscored like 19-2. Dallas cuts it to 3, but then Boston says, we forgot to finish this thing out. But they end up winning it 106-99 for a 3-0 lead in the NBA Finals. Game 4 still in Dallas tomorrow night. No team in the history of the NBA has ever rallied to win after being down 3-0.
I thought for a moment he was giving birth to a basketball there.
Yeah, he was actually hanging off the rim there. Jason Tatum.
I've never had a gallstone, but I kind of wonder if that's what passing a gallstone
I've
feels
heard
like.
some stories about that, yes, that's right.
And our athlete of the week, Neil Coleman Insurance, Wyandotte Mutual. Congratulations to Landon Iyer. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was on top of the world.
Yes, sir.
From White Oak High School. He's the state champion in the 3,200-meter run. That's like 2 miles.
And he was third in the 1,600. He said, I haven't run enough yet. I got to get another Almost a mile in.
The only time I got points in track and field was my sophomore year at Tays Valley.
Points.
Yeah. We had gone to Franklin Heights, and they lined up the 1,600-meter run. I was a distance runner at the time. And so they put me in front, and all the other Tays Valley teammates behind me said, Ramey, just start off with a dash and then get out of our way. I said, okay, no problem. So I do that. And then here comes the 3,200-meter run. No, actually, it was the 3,200 was first, then the 1,600. Franklin Heights had one runner, and he ran both events. Wow. He won both events.
Wow.
I placed second in the 1,600-meter, and all of our distance runners were tired because they ran the 3,200, followed by the 1,600. He finished almost 400 meters ahead of me.
Which is a lap.
I can't remember the kid's name, but he ruled the day that day.
Wasn't Jim Ryan, was it?
Yeah, man, he was fast. Yeah. All right, that's a look at sports for you, and again, congratulations to Landon Iyer. Coming up, this date in history, Mike has made it a mystery. Stick with us after these words.
92 years of serving Southern and Central Ohio, talking about Litter Quality Propane. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane.
Discover Ross County, from the historic sites of Chillicothe to breathtaking outdoor adventures and exciting family-friendly festivals and events. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Hometown Motors Incorporated at 18 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
These guys are coming to my house on Monday afternoon. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Talking about Accurate?
Yeah, we're talking about Accurate. Yeah.
Talking about Accurate.
I've talked a number of times on this program about the maintenance contract that I get. Twice a year they come out just to make sure that everything is working as it should.
Accurately.
But this time of year, they want to make sure my air conditioning is working right, which is very appropriate since we're going to have temperatures in the mid-90s.
That makes them your trusted comfort advisor.
I love these guys, especially when they've got my heating, cooling, and plumbing all going together. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It is time for this date in history. The Litter Media Wayback Machine is dialed up to...
We're going so far back.
Yeah, I don't know that the dials can handle
this. The Wayback Machine is overheating. 1381, during the Peasants' Revolt, a large mob of English peasants led by Wat Tyler marches into London and begins burning and looting the city.
Was Wat Tyler on second?
No, that was another team altogether. Several government buildings were destroyed, prisoners were released, and a judge was even beheaded, along with several dozen other citizens. The Peasants' Revolt had its origins of severe manifestation of the bubonic plague in the late 1340s, which killed, this is hard to believe, it killed nearly a third of England's population.
Wow.
The scarcity of labor brought by the plague led to higher wages and a more mobile peasantry in 1380. Peasant discontent reached a breaking point when Parliament restricted voting rights. Is some of this starting to sound through an increase in the poll tax, and the Peasants' Revolt began. But that was Highbury Manor in England. They even got a sign to remind people this happened way back when.
And after a third of the population was gone, I'm sure they went back to the great book and they read where it says, be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah. You know, that is historically, after war, World War I, World War II, there's always a baby boom.
Right.
because these guys
are back from the front.
Say, you know, they do survive and they come back and they're young and things happen. I think it happened also the night the lights went out in New York City during the power outage in 1964. There was no war involved in that one, but yeah, that is a matter of history. 1381. Dig it up in your history books, and you can find out what happened in England.
All right.
No wonder the Pilgrims came over here several hundred years later.
The Puritans were trying to get away from all that.
Right.
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, we don't have anything special today, do we? Is it tomorrow?
Well, you and I will be out at Kenworth learning how to pronounce drivers' names, because some of these folks are not from around here, as in other countries.
Right.
We've had a number of drivers that have been here from overseas, and it's kind of interesting to visit with these folks, to not only hear their story, why come here, but they want to tell the world about how great their ride in a Kenworth truck has been.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking that we had something scheduled, a special edition tomorrow, but it's actually on Monday. We've got them back to back.
Yes. And tomorrow we have the Kenworth dinner.
In the evening.
Yes, in the evening. The drivers sitting around at the Ross County Fairgrounds.
Now, you were in Lancaster yesterday?
I was in Lancaster yesterday.
So there will be something coming out on that soon?
There will be something today.
Okay, so when you and Dan are doing this show tomorrow, you can have a highlight of that.
Yes.
Okay.
What is this something you went to?
You'll find out. If you just watch
I'm starting
YouTube.
to wonder if he even went to Lancaster yesterday.
I went to Lancaster.
Dan's had to wait on a couple of things today, and he's just not used to that surprise.
That's right. I mean, you made me wait on this date in history, and now I don't know about Lancaster, and so we'll see what happens.
Well, you made
tune in tomorrow.
You made the audience wait this morning when we went live at 11:18.
So paybacks are tough.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we had a nice pre-interview with Kingston National Bank. By the way, if you missed that chat that we had with Phil Evans from KMP earlier today, is that available yet on YouTube?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, so you can check that out.
I hit publish right before we started this, so it's probably live.
Some very helpful information in that interview.
It is public.
Yeah, very good. Oh, I see someone's already started looking at it there, so that's good. Share that information if you would, because it's very vital information for those who you don't know who you're dealing with sometimes when you make a purchase online. And next thing you know, and it may not be a purchase you're making, it may be an email that came to you that says the Federal Trade Commission, or why would the IRS reach out to you like that? Right. Usually they come at the door and they've got a badge and it'll show it to you. Yeah. If you ever at any point have a question, talk to your banker first, because they have immediate access to your money. And then if it's shady, get together with law enforcement and be proactive and get to that as soon as you can. So again, if you want to see more, hear more, there is Phil Evans from K&B on our YouTube channel right now. So for the boys, I'm Dan Ramey. We'll see you tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.